Alright, so I didn't really exactly hit a live button when I started, so this is our SuchBullshit Podcast. It's something a little new I'm starting. Today's topic is going to be the coronavirus, how it's fucked with everyone's lives. So I have with me Freako and Warfare Ridge, and we're just going to basically shit-talk the Wuhan government for their nice Chinese virus that they've given us. So, who wants to start? Do either one of you want to start?
Petition on naming it Wuhan virus and not coronavirus.
We should just call it the Bud Light virus. Freako just died.
Wait, who makes Corona beer? It's all their fault, right?
I mean, why did it even get the name Corona? What? Like, why? Why did it?
Yeah, apparently it's discovered like
add a
back
lime,
in the
and
70s.
That's all I know. Add lime.
Add lime.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we should take limes, go to hospitals with people that have the coronavirus, and just put it in their mouths, and like it's scurvy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, why not? Worked for Corona beer. Why not coronavirus?
I mean, it might. So I'm gonna tell what. Go for it.
Okay, no. Here's the origin name of coronavirus. So coronavirus is derives from the name from the fact that under electron microscopic examination, each virion is surrounded by a corona or like a halo. So that's why it's named coronavirus.
How many of you actually know what the COVID-19 actually stands for?
Okay, go ahead.
I have no idea.
Certificate of Vaccine ID number 19.
Brilliant.
That's what it stands for. It is a certificate of a vaccine. The coronavirus is a vaccine, according to its classification.
A vaccine gone rogue?
Well, why do you think every once in a while they forget to kill the, your little smallpox vaccination has dead smallpox in it, but not always. Oops! Oh, you got smallpox. That'll buff out.
No big deal.
Just like a dent in a car.
Oh, Ebola? Oh, you want your Ebola shot? Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of Ebola. Oh, wait, by the way, one particle is still alive.
Yeah, oops.
Hospitalized. Have fun. I mean, it does happen. It does. So let's talk about the fucking supermarkets. Tell me some supermarket stories between the both of you. Have you been to like a Walmart or anything like that?
Oh yes, I was at Walmart like on Friday.
Go for it.
But basically, so they have like the 6 foot limit. Like say stay 6 feet away from us. Yeah. But like in the front of the entrance, they have like shopping carts, almost like as if like it's a barricade in front of the Walmart, and they have like people lining up, like the Jews lining up into the train cars.
That's pretty bad.
And they're all filing inside the Walmart. They're like 2 feet apart, not even 6 feet, 2 feet apart. And I mean, these people are everywhere.
Yeah, I walked into Walmart. I saw the barricade they were talking about. They're doing it at every store. And before, it was a few weeks ago, they were letting more than one person in at a time. You can only go in one person at a time now. So originally, me and my wife went in there. We just walked in, and we saw the line and the tape, and we were just like, oh, fuck this, just keep walking. And we did our regular fucking shopping. We didn't even think of like, oh, let's stockpile up. No, we just went there to buy some fucking ramen, soda, and that was it. Nothing fucking crazy. We didn't sit there and have like the whole black family walk in, and then just only get fucking deodorant, which I've actually fucking seen that. I shit you not. It was a whole family, and they only got like 5 sticks of deodorant. I'm just like looking in their cart. I'm like, it was a small cart. I'm like, why? Like, why bring in your whole family at the risk of this for fucking deodorant sticks? Like,
because sometimes you just gotta smell like a man.
It's true, though.
I guess, but like, couldn't you anywhere else and not the whole family? I mean, isn't it like this virus affecting African Americans more? Is it not? I mean, it was all over the news. Apparently, it's affecting them more than any other race. I don't know why, but it's just that virus.
Well, it shouldn't affect anyone any differently than anybody else, to be honest. But
it's not.
I mean, I've got a Stop and Shop, a ShopRite, and a Walmart, all basically on opposite sides of an intersection from each other. Walmart.
How the fuck do they compete?
Oh, one company stocks their shelves, another company stocks their shelves, and a third one refuses to stock their shelves, but locks everything away behind, like it's a fortress, just about. You know, has these little dividers 6 feet away. They've got the barricades up like it's Black Friday, you know, trying to thin the herd so you don't get run over and mauled.
With, no one's really even thinking of fucking Easter
social
either.
Distancing.
Has anyone thought of fucking
Walmart.
Easter at all? No one. That's
but
the sad
I
thing.
go into the Walmart after I'm done waiting in the line 6 feet away from the next little group, and there's nothing in the shelves. The whole food side of thing at Walmart picked clean. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I end up waiting and getting nowhere. Now, it didn't happen while I was there, so I can't directly comment on it, but they put out the toiletries later that day, and since the hospital and the fire station are both further down the same road that I live on, between the Walmart and the fire station lays my house, there was pretty much a riot at the Walmart. 3 fire engines, 8 cop cars, couple ambulances, over them stocking the shelves. And of course, a 24-hour Walmart is now open 10 to 8, which inconveniences those of us that work late nights.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly working right now, so that's, you know, its own little issue. But there was pretty much a riot at the store. And of course, because of that, now we can only limit, you know, like 10 people in the store at a time, aside from the employees. And it's all potluck. But you go across the street to the grocery stores, the Stop and Shop, the ShopRite. I guess it doesn't really matter if I'm using these brand names or not. But
so I'm assuming what happened there is like an employee brought out like a pallet of fucking toiletry and immediately just got mugged by like 50, 60 people and got kicked out of the way.
Well, I was there a week prior, and this is why I can kind of connect the dots. They had a pallet of toiletries there guarded by 8 Walmart employees. And another 3 of them were stocking the shelves. So you had 2 of them guarding one side of the aisle, and 6 of them guarding the pallet, plus the 2 that were stocking the shelves. So there were probably 10 employees in total. Then the power goes out at Walmart. Somebody outside decides, I'm going to run this light, smash into the light pole right outside of Walmart, so Walmart loses power.
And then the people...
everybody's got to leave. You got to leave your carts and everything. We can't check anybody out. Even though their generator works perfectly fine. So it gave everybody kind of license to completely lose control.
Lose their shit and fucking get what they want.
So there was a little mini riot that happened because everybody was just grabbing their stuff and heading to the checkout lines. And you've got 10 employees plus the rent-a-cops and more employees and managers come running out of the back to try to stop the whole riot, and I'm just sitting there laughing. Because it was just hilarious.
You're probably just sitting over by where they stock eggs, and you're just laughing, and it's like 3 aisles away, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Well, most of the people know that, like, I'm just that guy that, you know, you walk up and go, all right, there's this one guy I just don't want to fuck with today. It's that guy.
It's that one over by the fucking eggs.
And,
fuck
you know,
that guy.
They're pointing to me as like, yeah, that's the one I don't want to fuck with. So I just casually walk over there once the whole melee goes, grab my little 12-pack of toilet paper, and head over to the checkout line, and nobody bothered me. While they're, like, trying to sort out what I could only classify as, like, almost like a
fucking mob.
A riot or a melee of some kind between the Walmart employees, the power going out, and everybody losing their shit about it.
They were pretending it was Smash Bros. Melee.
Just about. But then I'm like, all right, well, I still need to get food, so I'm going to go over to the grocery stores. You'd never think there was any kind of you know, issue going on at all. It's just business as usual over there. Of course, they have a nice little sign in their toiletries, you know, we're sorry, but due to the conditions,
certain things are not going to be in
stock. You're limited to one per everything here. But then the next sign over is, oh, well, we're sorry, we're trying to restock everything. Boo-hoo. Too bad, you're too late.
That's pretty fucked.
But everything else, you know, all of the food stocked, you know, everything that you would expect to be at a grocery store is at a grocery store.
Yeah.
But you go across the street to the Walmart, and it's picked clean, and I just don't understand why Walmart almost, like, doesn't want to stock their shelves on purpose to kind of, like, exacerbate the problem. But I don't know. I can only speculate on that.
I think what they're doing is kind of like a marketing strategy, as in, like, not stock anything, wait out the desire, and when people really fucking need something, they'll keep coming back and expect it. They're probably using that as a really fucked up marketing ploy. I mean, they can do it. I mean, it's their store. They can run it the way they want it. There's no law against them not putting out anything on their fucking shelves, but, there is that strategy, and it does work. It's a fucked one, but it does exist. Okay, so it's no secret that I have an internship as, like, an electrician / cable guy. And I also work, and I'm currently running my family's deli, and I'm temporarily taking leave from that because of this stupid fucking law that passed in New Jersey where you're required now, mandatory, to wear a fucking mask everywhere. You know, I'm in my mid-20s. I shouldn't have to, you know, not only live in fear, but work in fear? Like, the fuck? Like, if I was a streamer, am I expected to wear a fucking mask like this and fucking quarantine and all like a loser all day? Like, I don't want to do that. So it's like, I fucking told my aunt, I'm like, look, I'm not fucking running the deli. I'm not doing it. And the week prior, there was, and I shit you fucking not, this is a true story. It was 2 p.m, and I'm just sitting at the counter, and we have a guy who's, like, over here on our right side of the store is, like, a coffee center. And it's not too far away. It's, like, 10 feet from me. So I'm, like, watching the guy. Black man, black woman, and black child, about 5 years old, walks in. All at once. They're not wearing a mask. They order a shit ton of stuff. And the guy in the background, over by the coffee bar, who's not even a foot or two behind them, is coughing like crazy. And I'm looking at these two idiots. These two adult idiots that are holding their kid, you know, wiping sanitizer on their face. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, I just wanted to smack myself. Like, why the fuck am I witnessing this? Like, I get, you know, and middle-aged people like myself have a real, you know, decent immunity against this, but like kid and really old man who's sick and coughing his fucking brains out probably has this shit and it says he has a sore throat, and I'm sitting there like you know, backing away. I have my fucking shirt over my face. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you have a car, take your fucking kid, one of you come in and come get your shit and get out. Like, I don't fucking believe the amount of stupid people that actually, you know, think it's okay to do normally what you do right now. Like, yeah, I can understand when you go outside and you want to go for a jog. Sure enough. Deputy Dog, we refuse to shop at Walmart here in Canada. Hardly any stock, even at normal times. I mean, I usually like a frozen banquet TV dinner. Especially the sweet and sour chicken rice. I like them. No banquets. All the TV dinners are gone. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just make whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, that's just one prime example as to what the fuck I dealt with running a deli. And that was not even a week ago. And I just almost shit my pants not believing that. I couldn't make it up.
Well.
Yeah.
Like I said about the Walmart and the ShopRite and the Stop and Shop next door, you know, across the street to them, you know, I like the pot pies. So they're like 98 cents at Walmart. But of course, barren shelves. I go across the street over to Stop and Shop. Not only are they fully stocked,
10 cents
but they're
cheaper.
on sale for 75 cents.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going, all right, well, why am I going to shop at Walmart going forward now? Because I just get everything I need, you know, that isn't like food related stuff, literally, you know, a stoplight, you know, or a stop sign, depending on which way I go, across the street. It's not like I'm going 15 minutes out of my way to go to these other places. It's literally across the street, either the divider being a stop sign or a stoplight.
Or an intersection
between the
basically.
two. And this makes no sense to me that Walmart is like all in on like, oh my god, this is the worst thing since, you know, the big dust storm that killed the dinosaurs. I think both are about as made up as anything. But
you know what is interesting though? When we had swine flu and Zika, no schools were closed. No one was wearing a fucking mask. We were all out and about normal. And then you think about the death rate for the Spanish flu in comparison to this, and it's just like, what the fuck are we doing as a human race? How come the schools didn't close and we lost all of our jobs when swine flu was a thing?
Well, this is basically SARS 2.0.
Yeah, like...
I mean, you had MERS before it, Zika. Like you said, there's all these other viruses, and...
I mean, SARS was nothing compared to this.
My daughter went to the grocery store and they wanted $10 for a bag of milk.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they're putting out studies saying, oh, well, COVID-19 is not a synthetically manufactured virus. I'm like, well,
how the fuck does it exist?
You know, one way or another, it doesn't really matter. But look at what came before it. SARS, MERS, Zika, insert whatever here. None of those closed schools, none of those, you know, caused this, you know, widespread panic to this level. I mean, sure, they were a thing, and it's like, okay, be careful. You know, Ebola is a thing. You know, Salmonella is a thing. Cook your chicken, you know. But now, all of a sudden, you know, you have this COVID-19, which I'm going to assume almost everybody has no idea what the COVID part actually stands for.
I didn't fucking know before we even started when you told me.
Yeah, I did say it before, but so you know, COVID is actually short for Certificate of Vaccine ID number 19. So this was apparently meant to be a vaccine. Or why would you classify it as a vaccine? You know, if it's this deadly virus.
That's the magic. That's the fucking magic of it. I mean, like, what the fuck else is it supposed to be? Like, they're saying that it came from a Wuhan laboratory, and then you have 3 missing fucking, Chinese reporters? I don't know what their names off the top of my head. There's a YouTube video.
It doesn't matter what their names are, but I mean,
they've gone missing by their government.
The circumstances around this, and it feels like a ploy. You know, Homeland Security Act 2.0. You know, bend over, forfeit your rights. You know, we're government. We have to justify our existence.
Here's what makes no sense about the government, right? You can buy copyrights, you can buy trademarks, you can pay money for restraining orders, or, you know, anything out there, any kind of order or any kind of right? But when it comes down to it getting enforced by,
you're paying for a privilege, not a right. Those are 2 very different things.
Yeah. But at the same time, as if you try to push someone who's trying to basically steal that online or any kind of right or sell a movie, the government doesn't give a shit. They don't stop anybody. And it's completely up to you. And it shouldn't be like that. Like, it's like if... Say you bought a Lamborghini right now. And it was like $1 million. You know, an overrated piece of shit that was in a movie. And suddenly, somebody does something online. Apparently, they now can take temporary ownership of that and drive it the fuck around. And you don't want that. But apparently, it is completely fine in the law for somebody to be able to do that. Yeah, it's not a right, it's a privilege, but it's stupid.
It's not...
It's stupid.
It's more, I would say, the ignorance of someone to allow it to happen because they don't know how to fight it.
And I mostly complain about this
because this person is doing something wrong, but I don't know why I don't know how. And you go to the cops or something like that, and it's like, well, it's not a speeding ticket. I can't bring them to municipal court and monetize them, so not my problem.
Yeah. Don't really know how to, law enforcement in online enforcement, there's almost nothing. Like, that's the biggest problem here. Like, there has been, famous Twitch streamers, Justin TV streamers, before all this shit, that have gone off the rails. I mean, really off the rails. And have managed to get other people to kill themselves on stream by saying some really fucked up things, or they're doxing their information. Yet nothing gets done to those fucking people. Or the fucking people that do swatting. Nothing happens to those people. Nothing. It's pretty fucking bad. I am complaining mostly all that shit in regards to, like, YouTube fair use. People, like, there's a couple of big YouTubers, but, like, if any name that I could mention, there's a lot of fair use that gets abused. People have monetization on all the fucking time when they really shouldn't, on things that, aren't their property. And then you have people fucking throwing fake fucking bullshit claims and then possibly sabotaging someone's entire channel and work. It happens all the time.
Well, there were people that actually went, wait a second, I can, blackmail people into paying me to remove my claims that are bullshit in the first place, but are you going to pay $50,000 to a lawyer or $5,000 to the blackmailer? I mean, what's the the lesser of two evils, essentially?
It shouldn't be like that, though.
You go to YouTube, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, and they should be doing something.
It's all an automatic process.
I know, but they should be doing something. That's the screwed up part.
Well, they are. They're collecting their ad revenue.
Yep.
And if they don't have to give any of it to you, well, oh well.
I feel like at that point, everyone has grounds to sue YouTube in a sense. But then again, it's, we're putting ourselves on that platform. I'm putting the stream on this platform right now. It's not even a fucking choice, but like with this whole virus, I have no choice but to either stream something, make a little bit of money, do whatever I want, and then enjoy life. But like right now, it's kind of screwed because you have all these silly people that are going to these fucking stores for things they don't fucking need with their whole fucking families, and they're not leaving one person in the car or anything. They're like, oh, I can understand if you're a single mother and you have one kid and you have to go out and you can't leave the kid in the car.
I mean, that makes sense, but it's like, look at, a typical family, father, mother, 2 kids, a dog. How many of those 4 need to go to Walmart to pick up groceries? 1.
1
2
or 2
maximum.
2 if they're bringing 2 carts worth of shit, because some families do get a lot of shit that can't fit in one cart.
I mean, even then, it's like, over these last couple weeks, because I don't work, my food bill has gone through the roof. Between January, February, and March, I would say I maybe spent $50 on food, because at work they had like a cafeteria, and it was, an employees area, so you were able to go in there once a day and they'd basically provide a meal for you.
That's not bad.
So now I run off to Walmart the end of March when the work is no more, because it was about the middle of March where everybody just kind of shut down due to the government order of not all non-essential employees, basically being barred from working.
Yeah.
So I've now spent, for this last month, not even, so it hasn't even been a month at this point, it's the 12th of April, I've spent $247 on food, because now I have to, cook everything at home. I can't even go out to a restaurant. They're not open.
Yeah.
And I hate to think how bad it is for people who live paycheck to paycheck. Thankfully, I don't.
Deputy Dog says, I've got a heart disease, so my immune system is compromised, full of isolation for me. I thought it said insulation for a second. I was about to say, are you full of insulation? That's pretty chemical. You might die from that?
Yeah, I would get asbestos tested if I were full of insulation. Might be able to find one of those fly-by-night ambulance chasers that are like, are you exposed to asbestos? Join our settlement now. Nonsense like that. But at the end of the day, I'll be able to get through this, assuming this goes maybe another month or 2, and I'll be fine. But if this goes another month or 2 for people who are living paycheck to paycheck, well, now they're not getting paychecks. They're maybe getting unemployment, a nice little bailout from the government. I mean, what's $1,200 going to do?
Have you seen New Jersey's current unemployment system and how they're trying to get programmers to fix it?
No.
You basically... Okay, I'll explain the setup, because there is some people I know that are now unemployed, and I'm not trying to claim it. I just know from reading it. So, depending on the last 4 digits of your Social Security, you have to call them at a certain hour in the day, within a 1 hour time. And if you miss it, fuck you, wait next week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's fucking bad. So say if your time is 6 in the morning from 7. Well, if your ass ain't up at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning to call them, you're fucked. That's it.
That's insane.
You're fucked. Yeah, go look it up right now. Go look it up.
I mean, even for me, it's like I used to work nights, so I work from 8 p.m. to 4 in the morning. I get home at 5 a.m., I sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, roughly speaking.
Yep.
So that's the time schedule that I'm trying to stick to. Now, I'm in a very fortunate situation that, one, I don't have to worry about my paycheck still coming in. Work has actually guaranteed us, until the end of May, that is, that we'll be paid as if we were still there. I don't know if they're kind of assuming some kind of government bailout being promised to them. But for 2,000 employees to make, what we make an hour, multiply that by, a 40-hour week, that's $400 by 2,000 employees.
It's not cheap.
Per week. And you're not doing any business because you're shut down. So this is all loss.
Yeah. That's a huge,
for the company. It's all being written off as a complete and total loss. So
unless they're already loaded before this, they're not going to survive.
Like, well, we make our money, and so what?
Okay, so there was another thing. In my Discord, I had posted that I was going to go on vacation and that their beach is closed and I got a call back and the hotel canceled. I was fucking pissed because months in advance, before COVID was even announced, this is back in October, I filed with Booking.com for and I'll specify the hotel. It's called the Drifting Sands Hotel. It's oceanfront. It's on Long Beach Island, or Long Island Beach, or whatever, New Jersey. And I had booked it for April, late April. And I called them up, or not them up, I called up their local municipal, which was, I think it's Beach Haven or something like that. I called them up, and I asked the municipal, hey, are you guys, and this is the beginning of April, are you guys shut down, are your beaches open, or what's the deal? They weren't enforcing anything, they were just saying social distancing on the beach. They didn't want anyone on it, but they weren't arresting people going out there. But up north, not even like 20 miles from them, they locked down the beach entirely. I get a call. Not even a couple days ago. So on the 10th. 10 days later. Okay, our beaches are closed and we're shutting down our hotel. We're looking toward late April. Or not late April. Late May. So basically my birthday. So it's like, fuck. I'm now getting my fucking vacation pushed back a whole month. And I haven't gone on vacation in 2 years. Thanks. Thanks, government. Thank you, Governor Phil Murphy, or whatever the fuck his name is. Fuck you and suck my dick.
That's about right for New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
But I mean, I don't even think it's his fault. I mean,
it's mostly the people in North Jersey,
Pennsylvania, New York. They're all doing the same thing.
Yeah, but it's mostly the people here in North Jersey that are coming to central to south and getting everyone fucking sick. Because, New York, all the fucking airports are there. People were getting sick there, staying there, and then they're coming down.
All the airports are there, but, you get the buses from the Port Authority. Yep. That's what, that's half an hour away from me. I would think maybe an hour further for you.
Yeah.
But, all those buses going in and out of there, I'm just going to say it, you get the Orientals, crossing your paths that are probably headed off to a casino somewhere. Who knows where they're going. Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, just about anywhere. But you cross paths with them and it's, a breeding ground of sorts for spreading around a disease that has no real symptom to it. You know, you go online and, you know, what are the symptoms of coronavirus? And the first thing that shows up, coronavirus is asymptomatic. So you don't even know you have it.
Yeah.
You run off into a place of public and just spread it around like wildfire.
Oh, you know, I just remembered. I had a dream like a couple nights ago, and it's that I got coronavirus. And then I couldn't go back home or see anybody. But I had like a feeling that I wanted to go back home and just like touch things.
If I had it, I would probably go to every one of my exes and just like cough all over them. And hope they get it.
I don't say where I work. But I think part of why they're paying us and just offering the money is to essentially avoid a lawsuit because of the high rate of exposure that we could have had. I mean, I spent 14 days in an isolation bubble. It was not fun. I had it, but I'm not, you know, immunocompromised, so my body fought it off as if it were the common cold. So to me, it was nothing more than the common cold, but they didn't want me spreading it around like wildfire. So I got a 14-day stay in an isolation bubble where all I could do is like watch TV and, you know, play around with a deck of cards. And if they bothered to give me my charger for my cell phone, I could actually, you know, screw around on my phone for a while.
That's pretty fucked. I haven't been forced into anything yet, so like I'm trying to stay home as much as possible.
So, you know, I basically, you know, got sent to jail for 14 days. You know, it certainly didn't feel like I was in a hospital. I mean, it really felt like I was being imprisoned because of my place of employment, you know, basically putting me at risk for the coronavirus, and I happened to contract said coronavirus.
Were you confirmed to have it?
Oh, yeah.
That fucking sucks.
Oh, yeah. They actually brought us in, and they said anybody that wants to get tested after we shut down, it can come in. We'll arrange for an appointment, you know, through the company. So they knew it was a problem. And so I'm like, all right, well, why not? The worst that happens is I'll, you know, get a yes or no answer, and that's fine by me.
And sure enough, when they test you, it's like, oh shit, you have it. Fuck you, get in the bubble. Yeah, so that's why we haven't heard from you for like fucking a whole 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
That would make sense.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I'm locked away, you know, essentially imprisoned because I got, you know, infected with this, you know, advanced version of a common cold. I mean, tuberculosis is probably more deadly than this COVID-19 thing is, but, you know, nobody's getting locked down for tuberculosis and sent to, you know, essentially a 14-day jail term.
Yeah, it's not exactly fun.
You know, I can't remember SARS, MERS, Zika, you know, any of that, but I know they had their outbreaks.
But they weren't.
I don't recall there being, you know, a month of basically, you know, complete and total isolation because of these diseases, you know, running wildfire, you know, for the time that they did.
Deputy Dog says, guess what? For retired people, government call this Freedom 55. I wouldn't call this freedom.
Yeah, freedom from paying retirement after you're 55 because they'll kill you with the virus.
That's fucked. That's really screwed up. I mean, and Trump was saying in the fucking news, or I think he was on national television, he was like, if only 100,000 die, then that means we win. Or he'd be satisfied with that or something. I'm just like, what the fuck? How about none?
Like, I mean, he has a point, though.
Yeah. But well, like, I think none would have been better.
As long as we don't cap that number, then, like, that'd be great.
Around the world, we've already capped that number already.
Well, yeah, no, just like here in the U.S. I mean, he's about to cap the number, but I mean, if we were able to like maintain that, then it
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like, okay, I got it. It ran its course, and I'm done with it.
Now I'm curious: is your blood
back to living my life now?
Is your blood technically like because you fought it off? Is your body technically immune? Would taking the blood out of you be like a vaccination for somebody else?
I don't know.
If they were able to do a blood transfusion, because that'd be curious.
I mean, anytime they tried to take my blood, there was a fight. I am not thrilled about anybody putting a needle in me for any reason whatsoever.
Right.
So when they tried to draw blood, I'm like, all right, which one of you wants to be the sacrificial lamb? Because I am not going to allow this to happen. And then they kind of got the hint, going back to that whole, you know, the one person you don't want to fuck with. They realized that, you know, this was not a fight that they were going to win. And it wasn't like I was just going to knock myself out.
That fucking bites. So
you know,
yeah.
I really don't know about that. Like, you know, the way they give you, you know, immunity to smallpox is to basically take smallpox or a synthetic version of it that's basically dead smallpox cells so that your body develops a means to fight it off.
And apparently WD Dog says they estimate worldwide at least 495,000 deaths. That sounds accurate. Maybe.
I mean, there's a population of, what, 3 billion last I checked?
Yeah.
For a population like 7 billion.
Well, either way, I mean, all right, let's say, just for the ease of round numbers, let's say 4 billion. So 400,000 casualties?
It's 10% of the world.
That's 1/10 of 1%.
1/10. Oh, I was doing million. I don't know why. Ignore that. I was silly there for 5 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, we're at, you know, 1/10 of 1% at most for the casualties being caused against the world population.
Right. It's not exactly.
I mean, I get it. It's, you know, confirmed cases, you know, this, that, the other thing. You won't really know the true number. But if the world population is 7 billion, then, you know, you're going to divide that 1% of 1% by, you know, another, you know, multiply it by 2, and it becomes even lower. I mean, do the math on something like, say, tuberculosis, and how many people died of tuberculosis year over year. That's probably a much more dangerous disease to worry about, but we're not getting quarantined over tuberculosis now, are we?
Nope.
Of course, I don't know the facts. I'm kind of guesstimating by, you know, old information, but at the end of the day,
it's not like polio is being spread.
I mean,
I think that'd be worse,
to me,
honestly.
Not, you know, a giant pandemic or whatever they're trying to make it out to be.
You know, I posted the math of what the current, you know, chance of dying from COVID is compared to, basically the chance of you
getting struck by lightning.
Yeah, the chance of you getting struck by lightning in your lifetime and dying from it is the chance that you'll die from COVID.
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's
over-fucking rated.
Well, of course. But, you know, this isn't about the certificate of vaccine ID number 19. This is about government, you know, blowing something completely out of proportion and going, well, the Homeland Security Act didn't remove the freedom of people, you know, as much as we thought it would, so let's literally jail people in their own homes. Because I'll give you a fun little fact, and I'll pose it as a question.
Go for it.
What is the most profitable industry in the United States?
I would say oil and travel, but I could say cigarettes.
Incorrect.
I would say cigarettes.
You're also incorrect.
Really?
Is it automotive?
Negative.
Water.
Negative.
All right, I'm blown away. Surprise me.
What if I told you it was the prison industry?
Are you fucking serious?
Yes, it is the prison industry.
The prisons make more money.
Yes.
Community service?
Would you necessarily consider that like a mart?
What?
I mean, prisons are all run by private companies now, and you get these judges that are all, well, here's a kickback for throwing Johnny Nobody into prison. And, you know, to understand it all is not the point of this, but the goal of government is to basically imprison you and monetize you.
That's pretty shit. That's pretty shit.
So, you know, that's why this is getting blown out of proportion. At least in my opinion.
You know, I have a very fucked up life opinion, and I don't support Eric Harris or Dylan Klebold, like the Columbine killers, for what the hell they did. But the view of natural selection doesn't really go too far. It's like China's population, like how they've tried to do population control over the years. You know, through bullshit secrecy with their government.
Maybe it was China that I was thinking about having a population of 3 billion in and of itself, but, you know.
Right.
It might be 2 or 3 billion.
China has like 1.1 billion.
But I mean, China is overpopulated as it is, so for all I know or care, this is population control to them. And it's like, oh shit, it got out. Uh-oh.
Well,
that's a problem.
That's how I'm viewing this virus, as a natural selection virus. It's fucked up for me to say that. I mean, but it is what it is.
It's not even... It's nothing to do with natural selection. It's not survival of the fittest. It's survival of the elitist. I mean, do you see Donald Trump wearing a fancy mask when he's, you know, up there making a speech? With who knows how many people surrounding him?
Does the suntan count?
Social distancing.
Is the spray on suntan count?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if it's got a high alcoholic content and, you know, acts as a desanitizer, sure, why not?
What if that is actually the kind of spray he uses? It's like spray dye with sanitizer on it.
You know,
he's probably got like 15 bottles of it in the back of his fucking limo.
I mean, the elitists are not the ones suffering from this, but they're the ones causing all of it. From my opinion.
Okay, from your opinion, how would they be causing it? Just out of curiosity.
Well, who's the one that's locking you up in your own house right now? You?
Yeah. Mostly me, because I want to be lazy. I'm watching the government fuck itself.
The whole thing is you're now becoming a slave to government because, just simply going about your day-to-day business wasn't good enough for them.
Yep. You're right.
You have to play by their rules now.
For the lulz.
It's like, I'm going to try to go to Walmart tomorrow. I'm not going to wear a mask or anything like that.
It's not happening.
But then I'm going to turn around. I'm like, well, I can't wear a mask if I don't buy one first, right? Are you going to give me a mask so I can go into Walmart?
No. They're expecting us to fucking make them and shit. And, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Make a mask out of what? My 3D printer? I think there is somebody actually doing printer. Exactly that, but,
Not everyone has a 3D printer.
Well, I do, but, again, I'm not in a situation where I'm literally living paycheck by paycheck and now wondering where that next paycheck's going to come.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I have a crap ton of money as it is. I'm not too concerned about money at the minute. My biggest sort of issue is, when can I go on fucking vacation? When is a restaurant going to open up? When can I go to Red Lobster?
When you do, let me know. I'd like to join you.
There is no personal justice now,
I've been, able to eat anything outside of my house. I mean, I can't even go to McDonald's. They're not even open.
Deputy Dog, let me tell you something about personal justice. I've had a woman rob my house of $1,000 cash out of my own safe, and our local police department did nothing. There is no personal justice. But when a store like Walmart gets robbed for 2 paint guns that are $100 a piece, for $200, 4 cops will run up to a black man, arrest him, and take his car and impound it. There's the justice.
Because they can monetize
democracy.
Yeah.
They can monetize it. They sell the car. They, basically, a municipal judge
funny
is
enough,
able to
I have a document right here.
To prison slavery.
I have a document right here. It is the State of New Jersey 208th legislation that was enacted and introduced in 1999 of May 24th. And what this is the state law in New Jersey for the Finders Keepers law. I got stopped by a state cop for finding something that was my friend's. Didn't find out it was my friend's. We couldn't take the property back. They sold it to their municipal. It was a $200 bicycle. It was a mountain bike. But I got a police report in here that does show that I did have possession of it. And it's like, oh, it's not yours? Oh, you can't have it. I gotta take it. I'm like, no, you don't. Finders Keepers law, my dude. He's like, oh, there's no Finders Keepers law. You don't turn it over, you're getting arrested. I'm like, dude, suck my dick. There is one. And I fucking pulled it up and he threatened to arrest me.
Well, that's the whole thing. The cops are running around looking at, okay, how can we monetize this guy, that guy, and the next guy? Why do you think municipal courts, it's, let's make a deal? Because they'd rather make a deal and guarantee that they're going to milk you for $100 or whatever it is than be bothered with actually fighting the case on the merits. Because there are no merits.
There ain't.
You go back, you look at California, I think it was 5 years ago, where they jumped the fines for municipal offenses. Municipal offenses are, basically
speeding tickets.
You run a red light, you forget to wear your seatbelt, things like that. That people literally stopped breaking the law, which is supposed to be the point of, law enforcement.
It is. But they don't do it.
But then all of the bureaucrats in California realized, well, we can't fund the system anymore.
because nobody wants to pay them.
People aren't breaking the law enough.
Yeah, so they lower the fine.
We can't fund our own corruption. And aside from the state of California almost being bankrupted because of it, then they send their policy enforcers out and go, all right, well, find something else. Oh, you smell marijuana. Oh, we're going to have to impound your car. We'll sort it out after the fact. Never mind that they're inconvenienced. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's alcohol we smell on your breath, isn't it? Oh, that's a DWI. Ruin someone's life for 10 years plus for nothing.
Yeah. Although the one thing that I won't get behind is the... What is it? I didn't know what the hell... Somebody just messaged me, but... The one thing that I will never get behind is, like, the people that bake in their car. And when I say bake, I mean smoke pot in their car. I can't stand the smell of it. But because I live in South Central Jersey somewhat, I smell it fucking everywhere. Every time I go out, or you say I go jogging, or I ride a bike, or I fucking drive somewhere, I'll open up the window and I'll fucking smell it in somebody else's car. It's almost everywhere. And it's illegal here. And I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, how? Why? Like, why haven't you been pulled the fuck over yet?
Well, it's not addictive.
Right.
They can't monetize it in any way aside from...
I think things can mentally be addictive. Things can mentally be addictive. Soda. I'm addicted to fucking soda. And you know what the worst part is? You go to every fast food place will sell soda. Every single one. So say if I just want a hamburger, I'm getting a soda with it.
Well, it's
forced
because
to get
of the
a
caffeine. Caffeine has addictive properties to it.
So what's next? Caffeine soda is now going to be legal and marketized? I mean, if that happens, they're going to have to ban coffee. Well,
I think it
caffeinated
was
coffee.
Pennsylvania, specifically
they taxed their soda.
Philadelphia had like a beverage tax.
Wait, Maris, why are you drinking Pepsi?
Why am I drinking Pepsi?
Oh, Pepsi's disgusting. It's inferior to Coca-Cola. You should know this.
What the hell just came through my headset? That was way too loud.
Okay, so
I couldn't even hear it.
Warfare doesn't like the fact. Okay, so he doesn't like when I drink Pepsi. He only likes it when I drink Coke. So I specifically got cherry Pepsi. I drank all my cherry Coke too, so. Oh crap.
You think this is funny?
A little bit.
You think this is funny, Maris? You're getting a little knee slap out of this.
Okay. But anyway. Continue. Continue. Are all the cops drinking Red Bull? No. No. Not to my knowledge.
I haven't even had a run-in with a cop in years now. But I'm not sure if that works for me or against me at this point, because it feels like, oh, well, we haven't monetized this guy in a while. Let's, mess with him.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it typically works. The last time I was stopped by a cop at all, so for shits and giggles, during, like, the beginning of fall and sometimes in, like, early spring, like, right around now, I will occasionally buy a bicycle. I'll attach a motor to it. I'll buy one of them eBay motor kits for, like, a 2-stroke or 4-stroke engine. And basically, I just rig it the fuck together. And I sell these kick-ass fucking things, right? And, I'll go in. I'll start riding it. It's all fun. I go 40 miles on the shoulder of the road. They're not illegal in the state of New Jersey, so it's all good. And, it's 50cc. It's within the law. I don't even have to get it registered. Just ride around like a normal bike, and it's fucking fun. It sounds like fun, right? You got a little fucking motorized bike basically on the shoulder of the road, and you're flying around the neighborhood in the middle of spring or, early fall when it's still chill out. So one morning, I go up to my local convenience store and I get a breakfast sandwich, right? There is a cop sitting adjacent in a now empty gas station parking lot. So I'm like, what the fuck? I just casually pass by him. I get halfway home, he pulls me over. He's like, "Do you know you were riding on the wrong side of the road?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're on the shoulder. You're riding on the wrong side of the shoulder." I'm like, "What the fuck? What are you talking about? That's not a fucking law. It's a fucking shoulder, dude." So apparently it is against the law to ride on the shoulder of the road with a bicycle.
Yeah, welcome to New Jersey. Last one out. Please turn off the lights.
Yeah. So,
but, they're just gonna make shit up, on the assumption that, the cop is the expert, and you're just gonna believe him, even though they're incompetent to actually testify on the stand. Yeah. If you pushed it to a trial.
I know.
I had a lawyer about 4 years ago actually admit as such to me, and he's like, "Hey, ask the cop these questions." And the prosecutor literally has no other choice but to impeach his own witness.
Which would be himself.
Well, which would be the cop.
Yeah. So at that point, charges would be dropped because he wouldn't be able to answer.
Yeah, because the testifying witness is no longer, competent to testify, and therefore, the prosecution has no good faith basis to continue the prosecution. They don't have a complaining witness. Although it does say, the state of such and such versus, who knows who cares.
I like that definition.
So, okay, well, if the state of such and such was damaged, I call the state of such and such up to the stand to, explain exactly how they were damaged. Oh, no damage, no crime. Sorry. Motion to dismiss. Thank you very much. If you fail to impeach the cop, which the prosecutor should do pretty much straight away.
It's a fucking stupidest fucking world we live in, honestly. With all the... I'm just not saying this specifically. State law gets abused by municipal police departments.
Don't confuse statute and law. That's one mistake I think way too many people make. Get yourself a Black's Law dictionary and look the terms up. I think you will be very disappointed as to what you end up finding.
Which is basically everything is a load of bullshit and laws are constantly broken anyway.
Well, statutes are commercial. So you have to be doing business for a statute to apply to you. And the assumption is, you have a driver's license. You're operating in commerce. Doesn't matter that you have a commercial driver's license or not. Until you break the assumption, you're assumed to be in the wrong.
Well, yeah, that is actually interesting. I didn't actually think like that. I mean, then again, I don't really look at statute law too much. And I guess I should start looking at it.
I mean, it's literally everywhere. That's part of the problem is...
Not enough bullshit for anything to be enforced correctly. I think our entire government needs to be rewritten, and all of our laws
I had
need to be
a
rewritten.
cop a state cop, are you familiar with Title 39? I'm like, those are statutes, correct? And, I think he was trying to, put his knowledge of, the so-called rules over me.
But then you basically said, hey, this is for if I'm fucking commerce,
asked
eat
him
my
the
ass.
question. I'm like, are you assuming that I'm operating in commerce? Because it sounds like you're trying to, apply commercial law. Since you're referencing Title 39, that's a statute. And surprisingly, he immediately shut up because he knew he wasn't going to win that argument.
True. I mean, I've had stupid people all the time fucking stop me or say something, but it's like, it's non-fucking stop. I mean, I carry around proof of corruption on a fucking daily basis. It's sitting in my desk. I mean, what more do I really need to say? But...
Well, I mean, we live in New Jersey. If you want proof of corruption, just go to
Aaron
Trenton.
Hynek, I haven't seen you on YouTube in quite some time, Eris. Glad to see you doing okay with social distancing. I really haven't been doing social distancing. I've been actually walking 2 to 3 feet up to people without a care. I know that's crazy, but, like, I'm used to it at this point. I want to get sick and get this shit over with. Like, Frico here has already gotten sick. He's already gotten the coronavirus. He got over it. Probably sucked for those 2 weeks, but I'd rather just get it and get it over with.
It wasn't because I got sick. It was because I literally was basically imprisoned in a hospital for 2 weeks.
Just in case you forgot, I'm Mr.
Total,
Filmmaker.
but,
Shit, how you doing?
At the end of the day, it may as well have been, me being imprisoned.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Did did Warfare leave?
What? No, I'm not leaving.
Are you still mad that I have Pepsi?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty mad.
Did I make you mad just purposely drinking Pepsi knowing you want me drinking Coke?
Yeah, that's what's really upsets me, because you purposely did it.
So what you're saying is I should do Pepsi and marshmallow.
What?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, dare do anything else with Pepsi, and I will come to your home, Maris. I know where you live. I can dox you right now.
Hold on. I have a solution. I have a bag of marshmallows right here. All right, and I'm gonna put some soda into a marshmallow. I'm gonna drink out of it. How's that work? Does that work? No. That'll probably give me coronavirus.
But I mean, to me, this whole thing is just like a giant fear-mongering campaign.
It is. You're right. It's fucking stupid.
I mean, that's
bullshit.
All I can think of, because it's like, okay, I got the common cold, and they wanted to classify it as COVID-19. It's like, oh, lock them up, throw away the key. And
Spread
it's
it.
Like, piss off.
I would immediately, if I was found to have it, I'd immediately jump into a car, and I would go to my worst enemies. And I would just cough all over them and their property. Pepsi Man, Maris. I love Pepsi Man. It was a great game.
Okay, Maris,
that game was like literally just cancer, though.
I know.
Like the whole soundtrack is Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Didn't have Coke Man
the whole time, and I'm just like, oh my god, gouge my eyes out with a fork.
It did have a rhythm, though. It did have a beat. It's like... Dun, 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 dun. It was so generic 90s that it worked. How the fuck did our conversation go to Pepsi Man in fucking 5 seconds? What the hell, man?
Because you were being an idiot in drinking Pepsi.
I am! I'm drinking Pepsi.
You really hurt my head sometimes, man. You really do.
How about this? How about this? I'll do Powerade instead. Is that better?
Okay, acceptable. It's a Coca-Cola product.
This is a Coca-Cola product?
Yes, Powerade is made by Coca-Cola company.
Huh.
Well, I don't know if it's directly made, but it's like distributed by them, which may as well be the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not made by them, but it's distributed by them. You're Freako was right.
So, I mean, it's acceptable. Right, I like the
Powerade and Gatorade is basically...
Okay, Gatorade is disgusting. I mean, like, okay, have you ever tasted Gatorade? Like, it tastes like watered-down Powerade.
Yeah.
Also, okay, is that the fruit punch flavor I see in the video? Okay, fruit punch flavor is pretty good, not gonna lie.
I have the blue one. You know what the worst part is?
I don't really like the Mountain Berry Blast.
My tripod right now is a Powerade bottle with duct tape. I'm not fucking kidding. I will fucking show you. If I point it down, if I point it down, it's not gonna show it all the way, but like the whole bottom, and I'm holding a fucking chapstick, but the whole bottom down here is just a fucking bottle. It's sitting up on a bottle. That is how jank of a setup I'm using right now, because I'm not even using the right fucking camera. The other camera I ordered, it's on back order, and it's gonna be here in like 2 weeks, but I'm not expecting anything. Can you kind of make out where the bottle is in that playback?
It's like it has a slight delay, so.
Oh no, that you can't.
I'm waiting for it.
You can't see the bottle, but it's sitting.
Now you're now you're turning the.
You can't see
camera.
it.
I see your keyboard, and I see like the Yeti stereo microphone.
Yeah, but you couldn't see anything else.
No,
it's literally duct taped to a fucking Powerade bottle, and the bottle is duct taped to my desk.
Okay, now your microphone is in the camera shot.
Oh well, fix that. Maybe that's better. I don't give a fuck. That's how jank of a setup I've been using this entire fucking time for the last 2 weeks when I've been streaming, and I just haven't given a shit. And I booted it up every time. You know what I also like? This whole thing, right? So certain stores are now limiting 10 people, and so they're trying to make alcohol like door delivery, like DoorDash.
Yeah.
You know what was crazy? I checked my entire town. And every store in a 22-mile fucking radius. 25-mile, actually. Not a single store is selling a webcam. Not Best Buys, not Walmart, not Staple, not Target, not anything. None of them. None of them are selling a fucking webcam.
You didn't stock up on them like they were toilet paper, like you were supposed to. Bad Maris.
But you think they would already have that crap on stock. It's like, that's the last thing anyone would want. It's like cell phone coverage, like the prepaid cards. They're everywhere. It should be as common as a fucking household flea. Not that you want a household flea, but...
Bro, I mean, they're just getting more outdated as time goes on.
Like, I called up Staples, and they're like, oh, we might have them. And then, like, 20 minutes later, the guy comes back on the phone, he's like, oh, yeah, we're completely out. Thanks. It's like, thanks, asshole. Fucking made me sit there, wait 20 minutes on the damn line. I'm eating up my fucking, electric bill. Thanks. What was that? Oh, the hell. That was kind of weird. But, you know what? Has anyone noticed, like, every Walmart has shitty shopping carts? Do you know how shitty they are? But then you go to, like...
What is...
What?
What is it?
The shopping carts in Walmart.
Oh, is the shopping carts? Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you always have that one wheel on the shopping cart.
Lately, I've been seeing wheels with fucking, like... Somebody was disgusting enough to throw a fucking napkin or, like, the sanitizer paper, like, onto the fucking wheel.
They have, like, hair stuck in the wheels.
I know.
It's disgusting.
But then you go to a place like fucking Target, and they're fucking clean as hell. The wheels aren't fucking jank. They fucking roll when you let go. And they're not retarded. Like, it's night and fucking day. You go to Target, and their fucking shopping carts are better. Everything about them's better. Their carts are actually fucking sturdy and reliable. The one time I had a fucking Walmart shopping cart, it fell apart on me while I was in the fucking store. Like, it came apart. The bottom rack snapped off. Somebody unscrewed it and took it into the store and then left it there. And then someone started using it, probably took it back, put it in the fucking lot, and then rolled it back in, and then when the next person took it, it fucking fell apart. So I'm literally standing there, and I had like a couple things of soda inside of a thing, wobble wheels, and the fucking car just fell apart. Wherefore that image, the emoji right there. Russian flag. That's funny. Freako, do you have any other crazy story?
Let's see.
Go fucking wild.
Last time I went to Walmart, when I realized it was barricaded. Here's another fun one. Of course, you have to walk through a parking lot to get to where you're going. Fun fact, said parking lot, a lady's walking through or driving through the striped line area where the pedestrians cross to go in and out of the front door of the Walmart.
Okay.
This lady, now being I'm a professional driver, or, well, was given the circumstances.
Aaron, the only thing you missed was us just telling stories about how bullshit the COVID virus is and just stories of our life. But anyway, continue, Freako.
So I'm watching this lady driving, and she's looking for a parking spot. I'm like, all right, well, she's got a spot where she can turn. This shouldn't be a problem. And then she goes another lane, and at this point I'm right in the middle of the road. She literally just went right through where I should have been if I wasn't watching what I was doing. And, probably would have killed me with how fast she was going. But this is the state of Walmart right now, just as a whole. It's disgusting that, people are just so garbage. In a general sense at this point.
Yeah. Do you want to know about garbage people?
And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I should have punched in. This isn't the first time that's happened to me either, which is like the more pathetic part of things.
It's like you should have knocked these fucking people out.
It's like the one time, literally security was right there, and I kicked the lady's door in, and he's like, well, he jumped back to get out of the way. And the security guy backed me up and let me kick the lady's door in. I'm like, if I didn't jump backward, they would have been blotting me up with handy wipes or who knows what. Because I would have been underneath, a soccer mom's van, rolling around inspecting the undercarriage of the damn thing.
Oh, yeah. At that point, somebody deserves to have their ass kicked if they're not fucking paying attention. I feel like too many people get a fucking driver's license when they shouldn't have it. They really need to get these fucking soccer moms and mostly the people that get all these fucking cars that they do not fucking deserve to have. Get them off the fucking streets because they don't know how to drive. They ruin the fucking cars, or they accidentally fucking kill someone because they're driving around fucking, high or on fucking meth or something. Or doing something fucking stupid. Believe it or not, this was April 22nd. No, not April 20th. What the fuck am I saying? It's not even April 22nd. March 22nd. I picked up my mother. And me and my wife and my mother in the back car, we drove up to Walmart together, the Supercenter one. And I parked the car. And my mother runs in real quick just to pick up, or no, she wanted me to pick up dog food for her because she didn't want to go in. So I had no problem because I didn't know what kind of fucking dog food that, the dog fucking wanted specifically. There's a certain flavor she only eats because she's a picky bitch, but I got the dog food, and when I came back out and I got done my shopping, she's still in the car, and when I got back in, she's like, did you see the crazy lady you walked past when you walked in? And I remembered the lady she was talking about. It was this crazy little white girl, this pixie stick looking chick. She was fucking tiny. And she was looking at me as I pulled up the car in the front row, and she's dead looking straight, screaming. Like, N-words this, go back to Camden that, you liking this white girl ass. I'm like, what the fuck? This girl had a needle still sticking out of her fucking arm. I shit you not. And I looked at her, and I'm like, I walked with my wife. I'm like, get next to me. Just get next to me. And she's over here. I'm like, just keep going. Keep walking. She's like, yeah, I see you, hottie. You gonna smack my ass and fuck me here in this parking lot? I'm like, looking at her, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Eventually, the cops came and they fucking grabbed her. It took 3 cops. They wrestled her to the ground, and I'm at that point, it was not even a minute later after I got in the car. We locked the doors and we're just watching her scream. She's throwing stuff into the street. She threw a whole person in the street. I'm just like, what kind of crazy people? Come the fuck out. And she's picking up cigarette butts off the ground and smoking them too. All around the area. During that whole time and cursing. I'm just like, how can you as a human being fall to that level of a fucking person and just be that fucked up, screaming, smoking, dirty ass fucking cigarette butts, re-rolling them, and then getting wrestled to the ground with fucking needles still in your arm? How do you do that? How can a person be that much of a fucking scumbag?
It takes
special ed
a
times
lot to
20
to stoop to that low. It takes a lot, but then again, it doesn't take a lot.
I mean, anybody can go insane, but that lady just, I think, was possessed by every fucking imaginable force possible. With every ounce of my fiber of being, I think that lady had gone full-blown fucking crazy years ago and had passed the cat lady phase and gone on to the fucking psychopath drug addict bitch phase. I don't know how somebody can go that far. And during a fucking pandemic and sit out front of a Walmart and then say those types of things and be all sexual. She was fucking mooning people shit, too. She fucking flashed her saggy ass tits in public. As me and my wife walked by, I was like, I try not to make a face, because if I had made a face, I knew she was going to approach me. So I just pretended she didn't even fucking exist. It was, I don't know how people can be like that. And then you have, like Deputy Dog said, how about the overnight and camping Walmart allows? Like the people that, do they have reserved COVID parking spaces now? I hope not. I mean, I used to work in Walmart. I'd like
that. I mean, I could take advantage of that. Fuck the handicap. Give me my, my privileged parking space because, I got a fancy little disease and fuckers didn't kill me.
I think if it gets to that point, the world's fucked. I think if we have...
The world's already fucked. You just have to open up your eyes and realize it.
It could be much worse.
Yeah, it could be much worse.
It's not like Fallout 3 yet. It's not like I'm collecting fucking bottle caps. Here, I can start right now with my newfound currency. Do you want my bottle cap? This is worth 1 cap, right? How much can I get for 1 cap? I want a drink. Here's a cap. What do I get for this?
I mean, Fallout's not far from, the truth of what things are going to become. Maybe not in our lifetime, but, 50 years down the road, I think there's going to be significant problems.
You know what the worst part is? Some people would probably be thinking, oh, this is, you guys are being crazy, talking politically incorrect. Believe it or not, this is kind of how we think privately. So it's like, it's not the end of the fucking world, but like at the same time, how can you close your eyes and be a silent deaf mute to the things that are going around when you're going out locally and seeing this shit? You're just expected to not say anything?
Well,
it's like, say, if you had an employee who, and no offense to anybody who...
I'm not sure I really want to go down the road that I want to go with this discussion, but...
You know what?
Fuck it.
Surprise me. Go for it.
Look at religion.
Go for it. I don't give a fuck about religion. Just go for it.
Okay. At the end of the day, I look at religion and I see, okay, give us 10%, bury your head in the sand, and this invisible force is going to magically fucking protect you.
Scientology?
But it's that same, magical imaginary force that's basically responsible for fucking you in the ass. All the same. So, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that in, I think, 1213, Vatican City declared the world to be their property. And we're just, happy to be living in it.
Yeah.
So, by that alone, it tells me, okay, people just have no idea what's going on.
Can I go by the George Carlin logic, and pray to the imaginary sun god because it blesses my crops? And it's real.
I don't know what you should pray to at this point, but...
It's growing my flowers. I mean, that works, right? I planted flowers and they're growing. Apparently it's real.
Sure.
Gives me solar panel energy. That's powering the whole studio that I'm sitting in. Well, not that I don't need it, though, but I am actually paying an electric bill on top. And it makes the bill cheaper. Much cheaper. Now,
that's
Warfare.
The thing. They offer these alternatives.
Yes.
Warfare, do you have any crazy stories?
Like to define crazy stories, because I have
anything
related.
like local, when you've gone to the supermarket, or if you've gone out and you've seen some ridiculous shit.
I mean, nothing too crazy, in the past few months.
The only ridiculous thing that I have seen yet, and not to cut off Rico, I'll give you the floor and I'll ask you the same thing, to give an example of the craziest thing you've seen thus far. It was 4 days ago, and I've been traumatized, and it's what led me to actually make this fucking podcast. So across the street from a convenience store, and there's local Wawas all over the place, and this is the one I went to, there is kind of this building that changes, with the season. It's one thing, and then it's another thing, and another fucking thing, and it's in my hometown. And I was visiting family, and I went there, and I was like, whatever, I'd drop off some stuff. And I went up to get a fucking sandwich. It was lunchtime. It was 1 o'clock. I roll up, in that area that has that building that's constantly changing, I look over at it, and there's a lemonade stand. I'm like, the fuck? I go up there, and they're selling fucking sanitizer in little travel bottles. Well, I go into the store, and, I rolled up, and I didn't think anything of that stand. I didn't need a fucking sanitizer, because I had already had some prior to all this shit going down. I have enough bleach in my house if I wanted to drink it that I'd be okay. But, I walked in this Wawa, and I just ordered a sandwich. I walk out, and I get back in my car, and as I pull out of the fucking lot, The kid's getting fucking mugged by some dude who came out in a red truck. He's just beating the shit out of him. I'm just like, oh. Well, shit. Fuck, I guess I'm calling 911. And, they were too late, obviously, but, I hauled the fuck out of there. I didn't want to get involved with that shit, but, like, is it coming down to the point where people are gonna fucking beat the crap out of each other over a fucking bottle of liquid? I mean, I understand, like, if this was Fallout and it was, like, the last water on Earth, sure, beat the crap out of each other for it, but, I don't think it's necessary for sanitizer, considering they were giving it to people that went into the fucking Wawa. They were letting you spray your fucking hands, every person. So, like, what? It just, I was like, what the fuck? That's what baffled me even more. You got it for free. Not even, like, a 1-minute walk to your side. You walk in, you get a thing, you get fucking sanitizer in your hand for free. Maybe not a travel amount to use at home, but, like, enough to get you through the day? Not to get fucking mugged to the point where your face is cracked open? Like, that's fucked. And that's probably been the one thing that made me do this podcast, because that's such bullshit. Hence the name.
Well, you know, Purell or whoever the fuck it is that, you know, has the, you know, the sanitizer companies, you know, I can just think of Purell off the top of my hand, but, you know, look at what has been caused by this pandemic, epidemic, you know, bullshit, well, you know, however you want to quantify it. You know, there is a artificial want, need, or desire for sanitizer, toilet paper, paper towels, you know, because telling people to just wash their fucking hands, you know, in kindergarten apparently isn't good enough.
Let me tell you something. When I worked at that convenience store, almost nobody had their fucking hands clean. I've seen a guy whose hands were more black, and he was a white guy. It looked like he had leprosy on his hands. His hands were that dirty and dried out, and his nails were cracked open. I'm just like, how do you let your hands get like that? That was like out of the one episode where Peter Griffin touches the blueberry guy, and his hand becomes like a whole fucking ecosystem. That's how dirty these people's hands were when I fucking look at them. And they're handing me cash and not using credit at a convenience store during a pandemic. That's what confuses me the most, too.
Well, I mean, like, that's the dirtiest thing that you're gonna,
unfortunately,
you know,
encounter
come
there.
across over the course of a day is somebody handing you a $1 bill, you know, a $5 bill, or, you know, any kind of, you know, money.
Well, our convenience store, we get Garda.
That, you know, $5 bill has been.
We get Garda that comes every week, and they supply us with new bills, and they cash out our old ones, and they take them back, sanitize them, whatever they do with them, process them, whatever, and then they, you know, touch them up and then push them back out so they're completely straight, and then they process them back out to other people. I don't know how that whole system works or how Garda works, but I'm pretty sure that's what their company does.
Without, you know, seeing the process happen before my very eyes, I would doubt they do much more than run it through a sorter and go, oh, that's 100 ones, that's a stack of 100, oh, there's a stack of 500, because those are all $5 bills, oh, that's a stack of 1,000, that's $10 bills.
Yeah, but I mean, they bring in new bills. That's all I know, but...
Yeah, but can you guarantee that those new bills are clean in any way, shape, or form?
Nope. Money laundering by the mob. Yeah, that's the Guard, it sounds like. I mean, they do carry around a gun and a fucking body armor. But, they're the only local third party that will change out money besides the bank. They basically just
take, you know, they take from the bank, the movie theater, you know, this, that, the other thing. You know, I'm just using that as what's around me, where I see the security people coming into and going out of from time to time. And they probably just go, oh, okay, oh, we have $1 million here, okay, well, sort it up, and pack it up without doing anything else to it and ship it off to, the next company in line, or just, oh, well, we sorted all your money and you have $1 million, so next week we're going to come over and send over $1 million, right back to you, which is just the sorted, $1 million that you gave to us to basically sort for you.
You know what I ought to do?
They don't sanitize money. They don't clean it. It's just as dirty then as it is now.
That's true. But you know what I ought to do? I ought to, take my wife's phone, because it's got better specs on it. And what I ought to do is I ought to put it on, some bullshit made-up tripod. Go up, put it in my car, and just sit in a Walmart parking lot and see what happens. And just film the insanity. I feel like I would, at that point, if I ran into any more crazy people in South Jersey, I think that could be, a fucking public post-it note. It's something worth the amount of hilarity. I could just put, pizzeria music over it and it'd be fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I mean, I almost want to take my phone right now and just kind of go out and be like, this is the stupidity that the world has come to because of, this so-called, pandemic or epidemic or whatever the hell they're calling it. I mean, those words all mean separate things, but I just don't care to do any kind of a...
Question for channel. How is the cryptocurrency doing? Do I do cryptocurrency? I don't do cryptocurrency.
Not that I am a financial advisor, but I would seriously start looking into cryptocurrencies at this point, because look at the dollar and you look back 10 years ago to what it could buy then and what it can buy now.
I think the scariest thing is how companies are going to view the conversion for cryptocurrency to US dollar. Or how our government is going to react to that and try to change and manipulate that. That's why I don't even want to think of cryptocurrency because of that.
Well, cryptocurrency is something that the government can't manipulate. It can't touch it.
Exactly.
Whereas, a bank just, it seems to just borrow new money into existence, which devalues, the $5 bill that you're holding right now tomorrow is only worth, $4.95, because the bank, come Monday morning is going to borrow, $10 million into existence for, a car loan, home loan, whatever kind of loan. And if
I think that's a common problem too. People are getting too many fucking loans.
Modern Money Mechanics, it outlines how a bank functions, and according to the Securities Exchange Commission, it is illegal for a bank to loan out its own assets.
But
so if it's loaning you money, or pretending to loan you money, where's that money coming from?
Not from my bank account, obviously.
Of course not. They're literally just going, oh, well, this loan's worth $10,000, so we're just going to, create $10,000.
How you doing, Rudy?
And, even though you created that $10,000 to buy the car, well, yeah, the bank loaned you that money. So, yeah, you're going to have to pay back that money that you created.
Yeah.
And, if you didn't take out that loan, the money would never have existed in the first place.
It's relatively true. Even if you found another way to change that currency or do anything with it. I mean, there's still the money's magically coming out of fucking nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere. So obviously, government and or bank refurbishing that.
Well, if I did the research beforehand, I didn't think I was gonna go down this particular route in this setting.
I mean, hey,
but
this was a say anything you want
example
setting
of, you know, countries that destroyed themselves because of hyperinflation of their currency, and it happened mostly in the same fashion that it's happening right now with Bank of America, you know, what is there? Santander, Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo.
I mean...
The biggest problem are the fucking people that are constantly getting fucking, like, things like student loans or, like, any sort of loan, but then they don't fucking work, and then they sit there and collect Social Security, and they don't fucking work to pay it off. That fucks the bank over, and there needs to be stronger fucking laws on that. Well, it doesn't even fuck
the bank over, because the bank never loaned you anything in the first place.
Well, true.
That's what you have to understand, is that a student loan is entirely... you know, invisible money that's created to turn you into a good little debt slave.
I ain't never putting myself in fucking debt. But I know at the birth of everyone here, you're immediately, I think with the national debt, you're immediately owed, or you're owing $31,000 per person on your birth.
Well, that's why you're basically made into a secured bond, which is your birth certificate.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part.
I mean, that birth certificate is basically a bond against the national debt. I think it was 1913. Again, I wasn't prepared to go down this route, so I'm trying to just recall offhand memory when the United States of America ceased to become a country and the Federal Reserve was founded, which then turned the United States into essentially the corporation of the United States.
And now, all these years later, here we are fucking around with some invisible virus killing off how many people?
Oh, not enough, apparently.
Almost 500,000.
I hope it, you know, gets rid of the fucking people breaking all the goddamn laws. I know that's like a really shitty thing to say, but, you know, like any thieves, murderers, or, you know, fucking people that don't do shit online and fuck around. Not people like us. I mean, people that are fucking
nice
dicks.
To have a... Well... You'd be impacting the #1 industry in the country if that happened.
Worth more dead than alive. That's actually true. Debbie Dog, we're all worth more dead than alive unless we pay $31,000 to the government out of our own pockets and worked for it. With no.
It's not even that. Yeah. I mean, you're getting taxed the whole way through.
Yeah, too.
But a 1040 form is the form you file for taxes, and I believe in Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, since they removed the entry in later versions, I think it's up to like 11th edition right now, or 10th edition, something like that. Around 3rd or 4th edition, they started removing the citation of certain terms that are defined, but a 1040 form is tribute to Britain.
What?
Yeah. It's exactly what it is.
How the hell is that a tribute to Britain?
Well, you know how the Revolutionary War happened?
Yeah.
1776 and all that nonsense?
Yep.
Well, where did the colonies get the money to wage their war?
Okay, you know, Maris, I'm getting tired, you know.
Your no sleep run has been interrupted.
Yeah, okay. No, okay, you know that I mean whenever I say I'm going to get sleep.
Is your any % run over now? Confirmed?
It's never been over. I'm out of here.
You're going to sleep. Good night.
I am not, but...
Okay, his run's over! Shut up. So I have his SRL time right here. It is for 2 days and 5 minutes.
Ah, nice.
That's just being an asshole.
Yeah, the official SRL time. But, you know, to get back to my point...
Oh, God.
The King of England at the time, who I believe was King Philip, financed both sides of the war. Which is how the War of 1812 happened. You know, the United States was basically mortgaged when it became an independent country instead of the England colonies. England said, well, yeah, we're going to foreclose on the mortgage now. And, well, that didn't work too well. But we've been paying the country of England ever since 1776 for the right to be the United States of America. England still fundamentally owns, through just the sheer level of debt incurred and the interest from it, the United States of America.
What do you think the craziest thing you've seen thus far with this stupid fucking virus? Like explain that one to me, because the examples I gave are already fucking nuts, but I want to hear yours. What is your version?
Aside from being in a hospital for 16 days and making the mistake of going out to Walmart, you know, I've done very little. I'm just like, all right, they want me to basically imprison myself, and I'm like, well, there are certain choice websites that I will not advertise here that
Pornhub Premium is free.
Gained my business.
Pornhub Premium is free.
Exactly.
Shouldn't even have fucking said it, honestly, but I knew it. I mean, there was a couple things I was told.
What am I gonna do?
I mean, you're right. Locked in your house, or, you know, in a fucking studio in your basement or whatever, your one and only fucking choice, okay? Turn to whatever is fucking free online. I mean, I think it was On Demand was giving out the good TV shows or the good movies that are normally they're pay for on demand, and they're just giving them out for free, and they're playing them during the day because football's closed. Well,
nothing's on.
Yeah,
I mean, the NBA
canceled.
season's supposed to be restarting soon. Hockey would be in its playoffs right now. But that season was suspended. I don't know if they're gonna, you know, resume. But then I don't even care in the first place, to be honest.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's something for, you know, everybody's got to adapt. It's like, okay, well, how do I monetize this particular situation? So the whole ad revenue thing on, you know, YouTube, you know, certain other sites that I still will not mention. However, I will confirm if, you know, you happen to mention it. You know, the ad revenue is still going to flow.
Yeah.
A friend of mine even approached me, you know, about...
Go for it.
Probably earlier in the week.
Go for it.
And he's like, well, I got into insurance sales. And it's like, blah, blah, blah. It's basically a multi-level marketing, you know, but it's insurance. And I'm like, well, if I was actually desperate to, you know, live paycheck to paycheck, then maybe I'd be interested in something like this because, you know, it's basically promising me if I sell an insurance policy, that I would make, $200.
Give or take.
Per, policy I make, plus, a small kickback year over year, which was not significant enough to really matter for selling one policy. Right now, I'm sitting on my ass. I'm making $400 a week, in compensation for basically being, subjected to and contracting the coronavirus. Never mind what, the lawsuits down the road are going to end up being like. So that doesn't really appeal to me.
Because that's just a whole lot of fucking social fighting to get anything out of it, and even then, it's not even worth the aggravation. Yeah,
it's not worth my time to change who I am to try to be Mr. Bright and Cheery, blow sunshine up somebody's ass, and sell them an insurance policy. I mean, it's probably perfect for somebody else who might be living paycheck to paycheck. But for me, it doesn't mean shit.
Deputy Dog says we need pandemic insurance.
The best part of pandemic insurance is they're not going to cover you.
Yeah, they're not.
I was reading, a whole bunch of cases of, we had pandemic insurance, but it's like, COVID-19 is so big that we can't cover this. Just like the insurance companies, when it was Sandy Hook and that whole disaster. Like, the insurance companies needed to be bailed out from how badly they were getting hammered on the insurance policies because of the hurricane that destroyed Sandy Hook. And that was
I thought when you said
ago?
Sandy Hook, I thought you were referring to the shooting, but yeah.
Well, that was that Sandy Hook shooting was Massachusetts or something like that.
I think
that's not the Sandy Hook in New Jersey.
Oh, right. I always get them two mixed up.
I was just using Sandy Hook as a reference because I know that's about fairly close by to where you live.
Yeah, true. But I do get them two by name mixed up because they're the same fucking name. But continue.
So of course the insurance companies, when it comes to actually paying out, they're not going to want to pay out. It's not what an insurance company makes money on. They make money on, money coming in, not money going out. This may be a surprise to most people, but, welcome to business. When you have money coming in, that's called profit. And when you have money going out, that's called an expense or sometimes even a loss.
Being fucked would be the loss. But you're fucked regardless if you have money going out. Because then it's just going to be recycled back to a bank, and then is also going to refold on itself. And then all that dirty money comes back to us, covered in possibly COVID, flu, whatever else you could think, AIDS, you name it, it's going to be on your dirty money. Get a PayPal credit card now.
Well, that's the whole thing. You shouldn't get any credit card if you can help it, because that just perpetuates the system.
And you would be correct.
I mean, my bank fought me tooth and nail when I said, I don't want this credit card anymore. I had paid it off, and I'm like, I'm never using this. Cancel it. And it was like I killed not only their dog, but everybody's dog within like a 10-mile radius of their office.
They really didn't want you to cancel, did they?
No, of course not. Because they can't monetize, a credit card that doesn't exist. They can't charge interest on it. They can't, we changed the terms and now you're going to pay, $35 a year for the privilege of using this particular card. I'm like, well, you guys changed the terms. I no longer agree to them. Go fuck yourselves. They're like, we'll
we need you. We need you.
And it's like, we'll waive the fee. We'll waive the fee. Don't worry about that. You've been with us for 10 years. It's like they backpedal so quickly. And it's like, well, why did you change the terms then if you knew this was going to be the result? It's like I sign a contract with you, and apparently the only person who can, change the terms of the contract is the bank side.
Not the fucking whole company as a whole.
One of these times, I want to actually get one of these unsolicited cards and redact out all of the terms and instead write, these terms are unagreeable. I do not, in any way consent or agree to any terms aside from the following. 1, I will be charged no interest nor fees on any money that I use. Which means they can't send me a bill. 2, I will have an unlimited credit line. So, if they agree to these terms, I'll basically have an unlimited credit line that I would never have to pay back. And the only person, according to the rest of the terms, that I would redact out, the only person who can cancel the card would be me.
And you would send this in and see if they would agree to it?
Yeah, because they're just going to process it as if it were any other application coming to them, because it's just about, a data entry monkey that doesn't actually look at anything, and they go, here's entry 2, 3, and 4, put the name in, give them their credit line, and that's the end of it. They're not going to look at any of the terms.
Now that would be
I can almost
hilarious.
guarantee it.
And then you'd be able to rip a few million out of the bank until they actually look at your account and they notice there's a huge $1 million drop or something like that. And like, sir, we're coming to your house. You apparently got $1 million out of our bank account or from us. And
but the thing is, that's
that?
why they have the insurance on the money, though. I mean, they'll just print more money into an existence anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the terms that they agreed to and I agreed to, it's a binding contract. So they have to abide by the terms that were agreed upon by all parties. That they just blindly agreed to it without looking at what they were, signing or agreeing to, that's not my problem.
It's fucking crazy. I think that's pretty bad when people flip cards like that, though. But that's not even flipping cards. That's just you telling the bank, hey, give me a legal agreement to take as much as I want off a card, and I can legally do it now. Herp derp.
Well, that's just exactly what it is.
That's just being way too fucking convenient and smart about it. But
I mean,
there's some people that are in actual fucking debt that are flipping cards and they fucking shouldn't be, and they're risking everything for it.
Well, that's because they're not, basically, keeping their head in the game. They need to realize the situation they're in, but that may be the situation they're in, that they're just simply desperate and don't have any other means to make their way. So they have to basically, well, fundamentally steal to keep themselves afloat. But if I made a agreement with you that said, well, I'd like you to make $10,000 to use as I see fit, in any way I see fit, but I am under no obligation to pay you back at any time whatsoever, no matter if I just go and decide that I'm going to gamble this $10,000 and lose it on a hand of blackjack at a casino, or, do whatever the hell I want with it. If we both agree to those terms, then I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, you would win and not have to pay anything back because I already agreed to it.
You've basically just given me $10,000, and for that, I thank you. I mean, it's just the same as like, oh, well, here's a $10,000 gift card, with our fancy little logo on it, and the Visa, MasterCard, whatever the hell logo on it. Have fun.
I wouldn't know what to do with a $10,000 gift card off the top of my head in terms of shopping.
But I mean, that's the whole thing that, people don't quite realize, is that they're agreeing to other people's terms, and, your homework assignment is, if we happen to do this again, your homework assignment is to tell me what the 4 essential elements of a contract are.
Well, shit. I mean, I know enough about bullshitting my way out of any legal agreement, but I wouldn't, through technicality and bringing up somebody else's bullshit by making the judge contradict the thought of another or the opinion of another by throwing out their entire case, but I would never think to know what those 4 points are. That's what I would have a second attorney for, but I think even most attorneys wouldn't even know that. The last attorney I had, honestly, bald guy, probably no older than I am, and didn't do jack shit when it came to collecting a money judgment. Didn't do shit. Didn't even know how to fill out paperwork.
Technically, there may be 5, but the 5th one is
off books, optional.
Well, the 5th one is basically putting it in writing. So that's not, like, that's why, we entered into a verbal contract. Is something that someone would say, where, if I said, okay, Maris, give me $10,000 to use as I please.
No.
That would be an offer, which is the first element of a contract. The second is the acceptance of it. You go, okay. The third is consideration. We both go, okay, well, we've agreed upon the terms. And that's really about it.
There is signature required for legal binding, though, isn't there? From both parties?
Well, of course. That's part of the consideration and the competency of both parties to enter into the contract.
Yep. But, speaking of off the books and everything, so, are you doing commentary for ZSR in 2 days for the weekly for Zelda 2?
No.
You don't want to do it with me?
No, I don't do the weeklies.
You don't do the week. Do you know who is going to do the weekly? Because there is going to be
no idea.
My ridiculous sprite. I also hidden a few things into the sprite work. I don't know why. I just I put a couple things that are very offensive into it, and nobody knows about it except Trails. So I left a little nice nudge joke for Trez. And it's not really a nudge joke. It's more like something.
A giant middle finger.
It's more like just a texture.
Probably
that says,
exactly what he deserves, but
it's just an FU Trez texture. It literally says FU Trez, and he doesn't know about it. They don't know about it, and I don't think. I think Trails may have seen it, but it's hidden very well into it.
Well, I mean, if he's used the Sprite, then he would probably find it. But no,
whatever. I hid it. I hid it so well that I don't think he found it. I think he laughed and seen it, but I don't know if he saw it. It's good. It'll be good. That's what I'm saying. You should do commentary with me for that weekly in 2 days. Because it's not like we have anything else to fucking do being isolated and bullshit. But,
what are you talking about? I have plenty more on a website to discover.
On a website of Pornhub.
Exactly. Branch out into, things I'm not exactly
keen on.
Yeah.
Just, start buying up all the online internet website stocks and fucking everything up. Sounds about right. But you should definitely see that Sprite that day. Aaron, sorry if this is late, but when you said if you caught the virus and you don't want to pass it on to all your exes, does that include the ex you mentioned in your intro? Yeah, but she's all the way in Florida, and I'm in Jersey, and I don't feel like driving to fucking Florida. I don't even want to go to Florida. That's like, a good, 5-6 hour drive from here? That's a far fucking trip. I ain't going all the way down there. But, I mean, honestly, there are some fucking people who, they sit on their ass, they do drugs, they steal from their parents and family and their loved ones, and they lose custody of their fucking kids. Something out of Jersey Shore, and it's these kind of fucking people that should be dropped off the fucking face of the earth. But, karma has never come to fucking hit them in the face when it really needs it. Instead, they get to live and keep mooching off the government and keep taking loans from the bank, student loans and school loans, and robbing the fucking the schools too to make deals with them. So they're basically fucking over education for somebody else who actually could use it and be a better use to the fucking world. And try to help us out, get a tiny bit out of this fucking national debt. But hey, we're constantly getting fucked, right? It's such bullshit.
National debt is just
a lie. A lie made by our forefathers to make us work harder.
Pretty much. Well, it's right. Not so much that. The national debt is
mostly us buying shit when we don't need it with no money that's invisible.
No, it's not even that. It's the what's the proper way to say this? The International Monetary Fund, which is what controls the Federal Reserve, that's the amount of debt that over time has accrued, but does not account for anything that's been used to set off the debt. So it's basically an invisible number that's made up bullshit.
Every time I see that live national debt clock website, I look at it and I'm just like, I just see rolling turds on that rolling counter. Just every counter is just a rolling turd. As if it was a turd on one of them fucking hot dog rollers. Just a perfect dog turd just rolling. And I'm just like, sitting there, I'm just like, can we get something better?
Yeah, that sounds about right. But
hey, dude, you're talking about anchors.
At this point, for me,
anchors?
I'm going to call it a night.
What is anchors? What is anchors? What is... What? Shit. But do you have any other crazy thing besides being... having the coronavirus and getting out of the tent and almost getting hit by a car by some crazy soccer mom who couldn't look where she was going.
Not really.
No.
Not this time around. But then,
it'll
I'm gonna
happen.
have to crawl out of my cave eventually.
You're gonna have to crawl out and go to the supermarket.
On food, and we'll see what ends up coming of that adventure.
I like the story with the blackout at Walmart. I think that was a pretty good one. But what I wanted to... anchor boots, they drag us down.
You can't make this shit up.
It's something out of Jersey Shore. It only happens here in Jersey.
Because as I was literally leaving the Walmart to head over to, any other place ever to get what I needed, because I live in a fairly commercialized area. I've got a Home Depot, Lowe's, ShopRite, McDonald's, Walmart, Stop and Shop. I'm trying to think of what's actually still in business. Target, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's one of those, the Michael's Craft Shop, closed up shop.
We had a Michael's store here in my old hometown.
Well, they said, given the current epidemic, we're closing our doors until non-essential blah, blah, blahs are...
Ours just went completely out of business and sold off everything in the store, including the glue guns and the glue. Apparently, they had a meth head come in, buy up all the glue, and apparently they melted it out in their car, and they snorted it, and they died. They melted a bunch of glue in their car, burned it. Midnight.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Burnt a bunch of glue sticks in their back of their car, lit it on fire, turned all in the gloop, and it sat there and it stayed on fire. And they just sat there and they huffed it
just the toxic fumes from the chemicals would be enough to kill you.
Exactly. I'm just like, why the fuck would you buy up like $200 worth of glue sticks, light them up in the back of your car, and kill yourself in the fucking car? Like,
I guess that line from Highlander, it's better to burn out than fade away.
That's fucked. That is pretty fucked. That is pretty fucked. I mean, you could do anything else. Take someone with you or something, but, choose to get high on glue. Little Jimmy's got to eat his glue, but Grandma bought it all to, basically commit arson, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking bad. Alright, I hope you catch a new story for me for next week.
Apparently it's illegal for me to go out, not wearing a mask right now. So,
oh, yeah.
I full well expect to be arrested for just doing my everyday shopping.
So wait, if I actually go out right now, am I going to get arrested for not wearing a mask? Because I don't intend on wearing one.
It's like, perish the thought that I, make my own choices in life.
So, before I end this, what topic do you want next week? 'Cause I don't have one planned. What would you be interested in shit-talking?
Oh, we could think of something between now and then. I'm not worried about that too much.
I'm not worried about it either. I just wanted to think of having a topic ready, unless
I just don't have anything off the top of my head that really,
is bullshit.
Makes sense to just kind of go in on.
I'll come up with something. Maybe it'll be something about a game that's not relevant, but I don't know. It would have to be something we all fucking know. Or a person...
we could talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Apparently everyone says it's shit.
Yes.
Honestly, Square Enix is garbage.
Well, they shit the bed 15 years ago, but, the problem is people don't know what a good game is, and, this generation grew up with, the PlayStation, unlike us, or maybe so much more me than anybody else, that I grew up with the Atari 2600, the Atari 5200, the Nintendo.
I started at the Nintendo, but yeah.
And then it, graduated to the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, so on and so forth, where you couldn't just have the graphics make a game.
I think the moment we hit PS3 is when shit hit the fan.
Oh, it went to hell in a handbasket well before that point.
Oh, I think PlayStation 1 was okay. PlayStation 2 was kind of... certain titles on it were okay, but then you had people trying to do sports games on it still, and it was just like, stop. Just stop. It's fucking monotonous. You know how many fucking FIFAs are there? How many FIFA games there are? And then one of them you can get,
FIFA started in 1991, I believe. Because I remember getting FIFA... I can't remember the year of it, but it was like the second FIFA that was made, and it had a yearly release to it. I also have the original John Madden Football for the Genesis. NHL Hockey was 1990.
That was that.
Gave you the ability to like edit lines and things like that. But they've made a yearly sequel of these sports games ever since. So we're looking at 30 years.
Give or take.
I mean, Madden's 25th anniversary was a couple years ago. And I mean, the fundamental rules of football have not changed to any degree, but yet, year over year, here's the next roster update. Give us $60.
It's kind of like how the NASCAR game for Xbox didn't have Dale Earnhardt, but it had everyone else. But they won't put like dead racers in the game because they're not on the current roster. Not to pay any respects to them at all. But like, what if they were good? Like, what if you wanted Bo Jackson?
Are above NASCAR. Like Dale Earnhardt was his own incorporated namesake. Like his racing team was literally Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, DEI. So the Dale Earnhardt Incorporation did not give permission to NASCAR nor anyone else, which I think was EA at the time, for, the use of his name and or likeness to be used in any of the games.
Which is honestly the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Well, yeah. But it's, essentially a cash grab in that, I'm, Dale Earnhardt, I'm Jeff Gordon, I'm, Bill Elliott. I'm trying to think of NASCAR guys who like actually matter, but NASCAR's basically shit the bed over the last 10, 15 years, and I don't even watch it anymore.
Shit, not my father, your father's. Lol. What? Oh, okay. Alright, I think that's going to be the end of it. This was a Such Bullshit Podcast. I don't know, did you like this idea? I mean, I came up with it in like, honestly, 2 hours of being, trashed on Bacardi. I came up with the icon in literally 20 minutes in Photoshop. 20 minutes in Photoshop, the concept idea, 30 minutes, and then, the overall picture, the final hour, that was it. That was the whole idea, and it worked. This actually didn't come out as bad as I had hoped, because it's honestly just us talking our fucking mind. So, no, we're not off the air. You can be a good boy now, because now I'm gonna hit that button. Okay.
All right. So that's gonna do it for us.
That is gonna do it for us. I'm gonna end the stream. You all have a good night. There will be another one next week where I go and hopefully get mugged by a soccer mom and maybe get attacked by some crazy woman stripping who is having a needle in her arm, screaming obscenities about Camden County different races wanting to rape her and such because she's nuts. And I live in Jersey. And that's pretty casual talk. But bad. I shouldn't laugh about that, but yeah, this is the end of the stream.